Yo, welcome back to yet another video. It's nice to see your smiling faces. Oh, now you're smiling, don't lie to yourself. And if you're not, you will be smiling because you're happy to see me and you're happy to learn something new. Anyway, without rambling on, today I'm going to be taking you on a different type of a journey. I'm going to be showing you the behind the scenes of how I take my product photography. I can show you that it can be inexpensive and it's also fun to do it at home. You know, a lot of big photographers out there, you know, they use fancy equipment, and then you'll watch those videos, and as much as you admire them and you aspire to be like them, when you're starting out you don't need fancy equipment. It's, you know, those people are big in the business, that's why they have all that fancy equipment. But if you're only starting out, or if you're only a small photographer, do not worry about all that big fancy equipment because you will get there eventually. And for the time being, there's smaller, inexpensive equipment that you can use to improve your photography. So first things first, I'm going to set up my lights. So I'm using this big photography light with a softbox. And the reason I'm using this is because I want to distribute the light evenly, and I also don't want any harsh shadows, so this is going to soften the light down and give it a nice glow to the stuff that we're going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up. By the way, any gear that I mention I will link in the description below. That way you'll be able to know exactly what gear I use and how much it is. If you're wondering, I mainly get my photography gear off Amazon, and this is not a sponsored video by any chance. I just think Amazon is great for getting your equipment. It is inexpensive and you've got a lot of retailers there, so you can pick and choose, you know, whatever you need and whatever your price range. They've got the really expensive stuff, but they also got the cheaper end. So yeah, my go-to shop for anything photography related that isn't cameras or lenses is Amazon. So now I'm going to show you the difference that lights made. So right now I'm shooting in my room, kind of against my window. Well, kind of window is backlit to me, so should be shooting the other way around. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and switch the lights on. Ooh, it's getting a little bit hot in here. Anyway, so next thing we're going to do is we have our lights. So now I'm going to show you what kind of props I'm going to be using and how I'm going to lay them out. Okay, so props wise, we have our gin that we're going to be shooting. We also have lemons, and then I have a crystal glass because I think it's going to look pretty cool in the photos, especially if you put some backlight on it. I've also got those stones, which are probably better for whiskey, but anyway, I'm pretty sure they're going to make a nice decoration. And then we also have those little mixing things, which I'm probably either going to throw it into the gin itself, or I'm just going to spread it out across the table. We have a knife to cut our lemons, and we have a board, either for decoration purposes and for cutting. And then lastly, to add a bit of texture, we have this lovely grey cloth. So yeah, we've got our light and then we've got our props, and the next thing I'm going to do is start laying things out to see what suits me and what doesn't. But before I do that really quick, let me put my glasses on because I've realised I don't have them on and I was wondering my eyesight isn't so great. Give me a second. Much better. Okay, I decided to sit down for this piece so that you can see more clearly what I'm doing and so that I'm also in the frame. So I've cleaned my gin in the glass. Instead of pouring in that gin, I actually poured in water because gin is clear, water is clear. Who's gonna know? I mean, now you know, but nobody else needs to know. I've cut lemons in half and I'm going to kind of place them around here. So lemons are going to give nice texture. We might mess things around when we actually get to take the pictures, but for the time being that's good. Also, may I address those plastic wraps for fruits that come in Ireland? I mean, like, is there really necessary for all of that? I mean, my lemons would be perfectly good in a paper bag or something like that. Anyway, out with this. I'm going to probably leave the knife here just for a bit of reflection, but what I'm going to do is clean it a little bit more so that the reflection is a bit more prominent. Ooh, almost cut myself there. Peter McKinnon, if you're ever watching this, probably never will, but yeah, I'm sick of opening things with this knife and I don't know which pocket knife to get, so you know, hit me up. I'd like to get a decent knife that I can open my packages with. So, place the knife. Next we add a bit more lemons in the background, just to add a bit more yellow. Then I'm taking those rocks, which is more for whiskey, but for added texture, just throw it around literally anywhere. And then, let me see, let's add a few of those little bowls into our drink and some hibiscus, just for colour. Okay, and then next, for added colour and texture, we're going to sprinkle these across, and then we're going to get our cloth and just pop it off in the corner here. Let's move those things. I forgot to add, I take those pictures in portrait because it's easier to crop it then for Instagram, so the 4x5 size. If I take it into landscape, I need to have a wider image pretty much and can't zoom in that much, so by shooting portrait I'm solving that problem. Photography is fun, but then you gotta clean everything up and then it's not fun anymore. Still love it though. See you next time.